astonishing scene unfolded as the host stared, utterly amazed, at Lu Sheng's fading figure and exclaimed, "Unbelievable." Raising his hand high, he laughed and shouted, "One punch again." Just one punch, even against the prodigious Bang Long, whose life constitution was extraordinary. Lu Sheng had ended the fight with a single strike. The host's magnified image appeared on the massive screens surrounding the arena, his excitement palpable as he yelled, "Incredible. Not even 10 breaths have passed. You have to understand. Bang Long is a peak level 11 combatant. Not only that," he continued, "she possesses a radiant moon, an extraordinary life constitution, and yet she couldn't even withstand one punch from Lu Sheng. Is the immortal bloodline truly that terrifying?" On the stage, Bing Long stood with her head lowered, fists clenched in humiliation as murmurs spread among the crowd. Honestly, I couldn't even tell what her innate extraordinary ability was. Yeah, she lost before she could even show anything. It was just way too fast. The host smirked and then out of nowhere added, "Speaking of speed." He suddenly pulled out a box of medicine and began an advertisement. "Here, I'd like to introduce to everyone a newly developed tonic by our own corporation for men who wish to enhance their performance. This product offers astonishing results, lasting effects for up to 30 days. On the big screen, Arlen gawked at the ridiculous scene, his mouth agape. "Oh, who the hell let that idiot be the MC?" he growled, his expression dark. It wasn't enough that he tried to manipulate the contestants against Lu Sheng. Now he's advertising male enhancement pills in front of a live audience. Eozia rubbed her forehead, speechless. "I already told the organizers we should replace him, but the propaganda department said he was a sponsor, appointed host. Besides, the audience seems to enjoy his style." Standing behind her, Arlen snapped, "That guy is a complete idiot." At that moment, Lu Sheng's communicator suddenly beat. Beep. He opened it, and a holographic projection appeared. It was Lu Kang, her bright eyes sparkling as she looked at him. "Big brother, you're amazing," she said with a radiant smile. In Lu Sheng's pupils, her figure shimmered clearly as her soft voice echoed in his ears. "When will you teach me how to cultivate, brother?" Lu Sheng lowered his head slightly, the corner of his lips curling into a faint smile as he thought to himself, "I've always been a modest and polite person, but it seems that now there's no choice but to keep showing off." With that thought, he lifted his head, smiling as he said softly, "It can't be helped. To put my family at ease, but I guess I'll just have to keep crushing every opponent I meet." The next contestants, those scheduled to fight after Lu Sheng, stepped onto the stage. A battle of titans unfolded on the grand stage, featuring 2 super genius fighters of renowned reputation. One hailed from the Mangan Star region, while the other represented the Xi'an Star region. Their combat raged for over 10 hours, proving to be far more intense than the previous match between Lu Sheng and Bang Long. The 2 warriors threw themselves at each other, unleashing every skill and ability in their arsenals in a desperate bid for victory. This was also the first time Lu Sheng had witnessed a duel between high-level extraordinary beings with his own eyes. In the end, victory was claimed by the Radiant Moon 1 star prodigy from the Xi'an Star region. The sheer force of their clash utterly demolished the entire arena platform of the small planet. Tournament organizers hurriedly dispatched teams to repair the extensive damage. A swarm of aircraft descended to restore the battleground while the energetic hosts kept the audience's spirits blazing. The crowd's enthusiasm erupted like a storm, with everyone in agreement that this was a true spectacle of power. The caliber of the semi-finals for a galaxy banning martial arts tournament involving 12 star regions was high. The previous fight between Lu Sheng and Bang Long had ended too quickly, so quickly that many had even suspected it was staged. Sitting in the stands, Lu Sheng watched the arena below and murmured to himself, "Observing others fight is rewarding, too. Extraordinary constitutions truly possess life levels far beyond ordinary interstellar species. Their very biology and essence of existence are simply superior." He pictured 2 paper boats floating on a calm blue surface, one drifting slowly forward, while the other, touched lightly by a bar of soap, suddenly surged ahead with explosive speed. Gazing at his raised hand, Lu Sheng mused silently, "It seems the power systems between the stellar supreme physique and the solar divine domain constellations still stand at the top tier. At least within these 12 star regions. There's nothing stronger. This tournament is really a grand comparison of different power systems. What I thought would be a dull event has actually turned out to be quite fascinating." At that very moment, a girl appeared in the spectator area, her presence radiant and commanding. Sensing something unusual, Lu Sheng widened his eyes in surprise and turned to ask Arlen, "Who is she?" Arlen chuckled lightly and replied, "I was just about to introduce her to you." The girl's entire presence seemed to radiate a chilling aura. Arlen watched her retreating back and continued, "That's Grey from the Polar Flame Blue Demon clan of the Butterfly Star region. She possesses a radiant Moon 9-star extraordinary life physique. At peak level 11, she is one of the few opponents we must pay special attention to." Lu Shen could clearly feel the opposition between himself and Grey. Her blue flame and his stellar fire were utterly different. His was domineering, while hers was cold and restrained. Interesting, Lu Shen thought. If there's a chance, I must study the structure of her power system. It might unexpectedly offer insights into the Tao of stellar flames. Finally, the arena had been repaired, and the next match was about to begin. The host smiled broadly and announced with enthusiasm, "Up next, our next contestant. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with him. He once spent an entire year alone hunting down thousands of stellar bandits known across the galaxy and even froze a star bear, and it." The host pointed dramatically toward one side of the arena. "His name once resounded throughout the Deer Star region. He is." The large screen lit up, displaying his image and stats. The host's booming voice echoed across the venue, "The greatest prodigy in the history of the Deer Star region. Bang Mamula." The crowd erupted in excitement, chanting wildly, "Dang Mamula! Dang Mamula! Bang Mamula!" Watching the reaction, Lu Shen couldn't help asking, "Is Bang Mamula really that famous?" Arland, standing beside him, replied calmly, "When Bang Mamula rose to prominence, his fame wasn't limited to the Deer Star region alone. 5 or 6 neighboring star regions were all overshadowed by his brilliance. He was considered the top prodigy in the galaxy until you appeared," he added with a sigh. "He's done countless legendary things, truly formidable." Lu Shen grew curious. "So, did he really freeze an entire star?" Arlan chuckled softly. "That story's been exaggerated. It was probably a small, dying star nearing the end of its life. Still, even that's terrifyingly powerful. I've never heard of anyone at level 11 capable of such a feat. Bang Mamula's strength is nothing to underestimate." At that moment, Bang Mamula appeared in the arena. In the arena, his very presence exuded power. His opponent trembled before the match even began. Terrified by the sheer pressure rolling off him, Bang Mamula frowned, his cold eyes flashing with a glacial light. With a thunderous boom, a massive block of ice materialized out of thin air and crashed down where his opponent stood. In an instant, the poor man was sealed within the ice, completely immobilized. The host's jaw dropped in disbelief. "This is insane. Contestant Bang Mamula has completely frozen his opponent with just a single glance." He raised his hand and shouted, "What kind of fight could continue after that? The power gap is enormous. Bang Mamula wins." The spectators in the stands were stunned speechless. Level 12. Bang Mamula must have ascended to level 12, someone blurted out in shock. So, the rumors were true. He's really reached level 12, voices erupted all around. If that's true, this whole tournament is pointless. The champion's already decided. Bang Mamula, another shouted in agreement. Exactly. Who could possibly outshine Lord Bang Mamula? Not even someone with an immortal bloodline could. I've heard Lu Shen just advanced to level 10. That's a gap of 2 whole realms. Meanwhile, Bang Mamula stood silently in the arena, turning his gaze toward where Lu Shen was seated. His narrowed eyes gleamed with a cold challenge. "I'll be waiting for you." A surge of battle intent erupted within Lu Shen. He stared back, his eyes icy, but chose not to respond. On the betting display, Lu Shen's win rate, originally 50, suddenly plummeted to 30, while Bang Mamula's soared to 70. All after a single fight. Arlen's expression grew solemn as he muttered, as expected of Bang Mamula. "Truly terrifying. Just one look from him made my hair stand on end." He turned to Lu Shen, a hint of worry in his eyes. "Do you think you can beat him?" Lu Shen replied, "Honestly, I don't know." Arlen sighed, patting his shoulder. "Fair enough. But even if you're uncertain, don't say that in front of others, or it'll sound like you've lost before the battle even begins. And honestly, it's fine if you can't beat him. He's much older than you. After all, you carry immortal blood, and he's only human. One day, you'll surpass him. Don't let the pressure get to you." Lu Shen frowned, deep in thought. "I really don't know if I can defeat Bang Mamula, because truthfully, I don't even know how strong I am right now," he thought to himself. "Bang Mamula hasn't shown his full power yet either. With both of us hiding our limits, how could anyone compare us at this point?"